Okay, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. It's Jermaine Gregory here again. Today I'm going to be talking about persistence. Persistence because it's something that a lot of people have, and even fewer people actually stay with. Yeah. Sometimes, I think that there are things that we persist in more so than others, but also we do have to kind of have a persistence that applies to everything, because I went to an MMI Millionaire Mindset Intensive weekend last weekend, and something that it kind of like reaffirmed in my head. Now I knew this already, but it reaffirmed it in my head and kind of made me think that, okay, maybe I need to be a little bit more persistent with everything that I do. And I'm sure that you may feel the same way about certain things too. The saying was, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Now what that means is that whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's the way you pay for something in the shop, the way you talk to the waitress, the way you call your parents every weekend or every day. Even some people speak to their mom and dad every day. The way that you deal with people, the way that you manage your money, is the way that you do everything. So no doubt, if you're doing something wrong with something that you really should be on top of, you're going to be doing something wrong with something else as well. It's whether it's the intention behind it, or actually not fulfilling what the purpose of that specific relationship is. Now, heading back to the actual theme of this video, which is persistence. I kind of wanted to mention this book that I've been reading, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Okay, now this book is a really, really good book, and it talks about a lot of different ways to kind of focus your thinking, to kind of help you discourage or diminish your non-supportive beliefs, and to focus you in your growth and development in whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Now, it's not specific to business, which I know a lot of people kind of see like, oh, I'm not really like into business and stuff. It's not really my interest. I just want to be a better person. This is what this book's about. This book can help you achieve that. So what I kind of just wanted to do was, towards the end of this chapter, or right at the end of this chapter, the quick review is what it does. Is it reviews every chapter right at the end and gives you like a number of points. So what I'll do, I'll just read this now. The difference between success and failure is found in one's attitude towards setbacks, handicaps, discouragements, and other disappointing situations. 5 guideposts to help you turn defeat into victory are: 1. Study setbacks to pave your way to success. When you lose, learn, and then go on to win next time. That's a really important thing, and I think that a lot of people become discouraged by not achieving something the first time round, the second time round, the third time round, and they just go off track. They almost lose interest in what their original goal was, or they just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Now, I know that Einstein kind of says that insanity is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. Make of that what you will, but I think that there's a lesson within that point. The point is to learn what you're doing, not just to do what you're doing, to copy what you're doing, but to understand and learn how to apply that information so that you can do it better next time. Point 2. Have the courage to be your own constructive critic. Seek out your faults and weaknesses and correct them. This makes you professional. Earlier on in this chapter, he actually mentions that very same thing about being a professional. Yeah. So whether it's a professional mother, a professional father, a professional son or daughter, a professional at work, whether you're a manager or an employee, regardless of your field of work, it doesn't matter whether you're a clerical assistant, a CEO, a cleaner, a bin man, the idea of anything that you do is to be a professional in it. And by seeking out faults and weaknesses and correcting them and being aware of them and then being able to do something about it, you help yourself to become a professional, even better at what you do. Point 3, stop blaming luck. Research each setback, find out what went wrong. Remember, blaming luck never got anyone where he wanted to go. A lot of people use luck as the scapegoat, the easy way out. Like luck, having bad luck or having good luck is not like an excuse. It's not a thing that you can kind of quantify. It's not tangible. Right? Your effort that you put into anything is what will pay. It's not bad luck or good luck. Sometimes it's timing, and you might not even be aware that it's the right time. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not the right time. But the key is to, again, be aware of what you're doing and then applying what you know, learning everything that you can, and then moving forward from there. Point 4, blend persistence with experimentation. Stay with your goal, but don't beat your head against a stone wall. Try new approaches, experiment. And that's the most important thing that he kind of talks about. It's good to be persistent, but with your persistence, you have to experiment. Kind of harkening back to what Albert Einstein was saying about doing something over and over again, expecting different results. What he's saying to you is to experiment, is to try something new, try something different, a different approach, a different method, a different process, a different way of doing something so that you can achieve what you want to do. Point 5, remember, there is a good side in every situation. Find it, see the good side, and whip discouragement. Now again, sort of going back to point 1, in fact, about learning. Point 5 kind of reaffirms that, re-emphasizes that seeing the good side. Now, you might not achieve something the first time, the second time, the third time, the 4th or 5th or 6th or the 27th time, but with every experience that you have of doing it, you have to be aware, you have to learn, you have to know that you're taking in the information and do something slightly different to achieve what you want. It's about the learning process. It's about seeing the good in that situation. So not every failure is just death and despair and just terrible. Use it as a learning curve, as something that makes you stronger, bigger, more developed. It's like going to the gym. You can't lift 100 kgs if you've never lifted 100 kgs before. You have to learn how to, maybe, for example, if you're doing a deadlift, you have to learn how to do the deadlift, the correct technique. And don't forget, as the weight goes up, there's going to be different muscle groups that are going to be straining to lift that weight. When I say straining, I mean using, but muscle tightening, strain, etc. But eventually, as you apply your correct technique to bigger weights and bigger weights and bigger weights, you'll be able to achieve that. It's all about the process of progression. And in the progress, that's where the magic is. That's where you really, really enjoy and get to kind of see and visualize what's actually happening around you and how you're actually moving forward. Take note of it and actually take joy in the persistence that you're taking. Don't just see the goal and then imagine yourself here and just see the goal there and that's all you're focusing on. Take joy in those little steps that you're taking, because each step is a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer and a little bit closer to where you want to be. So relish those moments, cherish those moments, enjoy those moments, and you'll be fulfilled. And the key thing, like for me, is to, from me, is to have a desire for what it is that you want to do. If you don't have a desire for what it is you want to do, there's not much point doing it, because you're not going to be putting your all into it. You're not going to be persistent. What he also mentions in that chapter as well is to take breaks sometimes. You know, there's a president that he mentions in there, I think it's Eisenhower, that used to take regular weekend breaks away. Now, whenever the Prime Minister, David Cameron, goes on holiday, we're all in uproar. Like, why is he going on holiday at this time? Like, why is he taking so many holidays? Like, he's got a country to run. Remember, everybody needs time to refresh, time to reset their mind, time to step back and look at what it is they're trying to achieve, whatever the problem is, and just look at it from a fresh perspective. Taking that step back allows your mind space to kind of think and be like, okay, this is the problem, this is how I'm going to deal with it, this is this A, B, C, D, E, F, these are the points, this is what I can do about this. Okay, just taking that step back allows your mind to think differently. Now, as you're going forward throughout your day, throughout your week, throughout your new month, it's the 5th of November today. Happy new month. I want you to be, or to remember, to be persistent, but be experimentative. Be experimenting with your persistence. Be experimenting with new techniques, ideas, and just go that step further to being more. And I say perfect, but I don't mean perfect. I mean progression. That's what we're trying to achieve. Progression. As long as you're moving forward, or you're finding you might be moving sideways for a little time while you try something, so that you work out what to do to move forward. But do it, because it will work and it will pay off. And if you have enough persistence, it will mean that you'll achieve the goal that you set out to achieve. Apologies for this video taking so long. I do usually try to keep them down to about sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes or so, but hey, sometimes when you get into something, you need to allow yourself time. Thank you very much for watching the video. I really do appreciate you taking the time out to actually watch this, and leave a comment, like, subscribe, drop me a little message to on Facebook. Give me some feedback. It'd be great to hear what you think. I really do appreciate it, seriously. And with that, may the universe bless you with what you deserve. Go out there and have a great day. Catch you soon. Bye bye.